All right, folks. Time to set the record straight. A few weeks back, listeners heard me rant on about a new sandal from Lem's Shoes. That sandal, the new switchback sandal, is a classic single-strap, single-post style that I, without much knowledge, accused of me tooing. And look, in hindsight, it's hard to me too a style that's thousands of years old, right? What I wasn't informed on was Lem's unique take on making footwear, and let's just say a few rocks were thrown back at me, and rightly so, because Lem's has really elevated the design of minimalist, natural movement footwear, anatomically correct fit, zero drop comfort, and lightweight outdoor performance. And the switchback? It's crafted from a single piece of material and features a unique single strap design with one buckle for super ease of use, added comfort, and getting it on outside. You can personally check it out yourself when it becomes available on Wednesday, April 23rd. And oh, hey, retailers, did you know that Lem's is looking for wholesale partners? Hit them up at support@lemsshoes.com to add a little flavor to your shoe wall. And be sure to stop by and say hi to the Lem's team at their booth at Switchback in Nashville this June. So to all the Lem's fans I may have offended, my sincerest apologies. And to Lem's, well, you did pay for this advertisement, but more importantly, you made a believer out of me. I've eaten my words, and they tasted like freedom. Check out the new Switchback sandal by heading to lemsshoes.com.
Rock fight, rock fight, rock fight, rock fight, rock fight, rock fight.
Welcome to the Rock Fight, where we speak our truth, slay sacred cows, and sometimes agree to disagree. This is an outdoor podcast that aims for the head. I'm Colin True, and joining me today, we don't need a conclave. There is only one person who can make it as our new pope. It's Justin Housman.
I actually did think about that today, earlier.
apply?
Like, what if, yes, geez, how it works? Like, what would it in any way be cool to be the pope? Like, I can't imagine.
Well,
what could possibly be worth it for me to, like,
your wardrobe would look dope.
I mean, I would,
like robes
you know,
and big
and you
hats
know
and
that,
shit.
like, that's like the finest fabric in the world.
Right. You go in, you're like, I need an LA Dodgers logo right now.
I'm gonna need to customize this because, you know, also it has to be like the youngest, purest boys, like sewing all that stuff with like hands that have never even been outside, like sewing the robes.
St. Peter's Textiles.
Yeah, just like everything's gotta be so buttery soft. Oh, it must feel amazing.
Yeah. Did you watch Con?
No, but I've heard it's amazing. I've heard it's great. My wife was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
What a good cast.
Really good film.
Yeah, I should watch it.
It's really good. You'd like it.
I should watch it. I'm a big John Lithgow
And now
fan.
it's timely.
Yeah. I don't, but you don't give a shit about the Pope, do you, for any reason?
No, come on. I mean, I guess in the historical sense, what this guy did was pretty cool. Like, he was actually like compassionate.
Like the last
like,
liberal world leader, kind of.
Yeah, but it's also like, it drives me crazy. Like, oh my God, we're mourning the guy who was Pope for 12 years, and now there'll be somebody else who's Pope for 12 years. It's like,
why are they always so old? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Like, do they want them to
like
have fast turnover?
Maybe. I guess it's good because then if he's a dick, then you can get rid of him quick. I don't know.
I still don't know. I'm still like 50-50 on whether or not there was a Jesus at all.
I think the jury is still out on that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I read about, I pay attention to this kind of thing. But anyway, that's not, yeah. This is a religious podcast now.
We just pivoted.
Popecast.
We are going to move on from this into some outdoor stuff. But before we get to any of that, if you missed Monday's episode of The Rock Fight, you got to go back and your producer Dave and I talking about some rumors floating around about REI and maybe them potentially demanding exclusivity from their brand partners.
Big mistake.
Come back this Friday. Here's Shantae Salabert. We're going to be talking about pop culture stuff in the outdoors. She has opinions. You got to hear that. And then, Justin, what do people want to, if they want to reach out to us, where should they do that?
Well, you've been doing so good at sending us emails. So you probably know the email address already, but
actually we've slowed down a little bit lately. We should we could use a few more emails.
Colin was trying to make it sound like
you're trying to pump their tires a little.
Yeah. So cut that part out. myrockfight@gmail.com. By the way, I was thinking about this earlier today. There's going to be a point where like people are going to go, oh, Gmail, like we do with AOL or Hotmail. Isn't that weird? Like someday.
Well, now that they're being broken up,
well,
right?
Sure. I wasn't even thinking about that. Just generally speaking, like nothing lasts forever. Like there will be a point where I'll be embarrassed as I'll have a Gmail account. I'll be like, I'm sorry.
I kind of wish I still had my AOL account.
I
That'd be
have
awesome.
one, and I'm using it for like a burner or like to get like more free trials at things like Sling TV and stuff. And I can't
Right.
remember I can't remember what it was. Like, was it Justin Housman? Was it Jay Housman? Like, I don't have any idea.
No, dude, it was some weird. Like everyone's first email address was like
this was my
Surfer
first.
Bro 25.
My first email
or
address was
something
a
like
Gmail.
Oh, was it
yeah,
really?
Yeah, I was a latecomer. Yeah.
that. Wow,
Yeah.
look at you.
Newsletter time. It's newsletter time, Colin. Today it came out. What really good with Wes Allen just firing on all cylinders as usual.
It was a good one. It was good.
Also, Apple, Spotify, whatever, Fountain, podcast servers or clients or providers that we don't know about yet. That's fine too. Leave a 5-star rating, whatever their equivalent of that would be. If they don't use the 5-star rating,
if we were in a tag team match and like the WWE right now, this is when you'd be like struggling to get to the like tag me in for you. You know?
Yeah,
You'd be like,
I'm definitely hitting a little bit of a wall. I've been up.
It's that skunky beer you're drinking.
Well, that's true. I've been upright and fully functional for 12 hours at this point without really stopping.
I do want to tell you though, I got to go surfing this past
Where'd you
weekend.
go? Your usual spot?
Just usual spot.
Oside Harbor?
My niece was in town.
Right? Oside Harbor?
Oceanside Harbor. It was beautiful. We went and they're like, she wanted to go to the beach. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And it actually there've been pretty good swell for the last couple of weeks. So it's like we finally had like a 2 to 3 foot day. It was great. And it was and I did want to. So I need a clarification on something. When you have kind of an inside breaking, so you have the beach break, wave breaks. And then, you get a little bit kind of, it's not just like foam, like it's not just whitewash. It almost reforms and you get an actual face though, not just like a, is there a name for that or is it just like an inside wave?
Reforms.
Okay.
Insiders.
Reformer.
Insiders.
I caught a great
there's
inside wave.
There's like a little reform on the inside. Did you guys see that section on the inside? Yeah. All that stuff. You're on the right track.
Okay.
So what happened? You caught a wave that like broke and then like white water and then like reformed and then like broke again.
It reformed.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Those waves are always really steep and pretty fun on the inside.
Well, yeah, because I hadn't surfed in a long time. I'm like, I'm just gonna play. We had my daughter's boyfriend was with us. We had my niece there. I'm like, I'm just gonna just play around in here. It's been a while since I've been in the water, and then I just caught this awesome reformed inside wave. And I'm like, this is great. I forgot. I'm like, why don't I do this every single day of my life?
Yeah.
Why don't I do that? But then also, I think you appreciate this because my daughter's boyfriend from San Diego had never surfed. Grew up here. Yep. So they all, put him in one of my wetsuits. They're out there just kind of playing around. He just took a board and just started playing around on it. Of course, playing in the whitewash, stood up immediately is like, oh my God, like, oh, the wasted years, right? So when we got back to our house, I have I think it's like a 9.6, like foamy, like one of the first boards I ever had. I'm like, hey, dude, that's your board now.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I grabbed one of my wetsuits. I'm like, and here you go. I'm like, just save the 20-year-old kid,
Dude,
like,
that's awesome.
Like $500, So he's all stoked now.
That's your daughter's boyfriend.
Yes.
Is that like her first real boyfriend?
Yeah, first real boyfriend.
My first real girlfriend's dad gave me, the only thing he ever gave me was a VHS copy of the Robert Redford film Brubaker.
Not even one of the good ones.
I don't even know. I opened it and I thought it was a joke and I started laughing. And he's like, "It's a really good movie." That was the only thing he ever gave me.
Did you ever watch it? Now I kind of
like
watch
19. I'm not like into like old Robert Redford films.
We should watch it. Maybe
sure
it's like classically
dude, I bet I would
underrated.
love it. But I don't know if I had a VHS player anymore. Yeah, no, I did. It was on VHS.
Yeah.
I kept it for a long time. I don't know why. I just thought like in the plastic wrap. Someday I'm going to get around to
First of all, I
this.
thought you said he gave you like a pack of cigarettes or something like that,
That
which would have been
cooler.
hilarious. But
Yeah,
I
he
think,
hated me so much.
The VHS copy of Brubaker is the best thing I've ever heard.
I mean, like,
That's
I was like,
funny.
dude, maybe, I don't know if he was trying to toughen me up. Like, I was just like, the first time you met me, your daughter was like putting little, like, I don't even know what you call it, like little beads in my hair. Like braiding and putting beads in my hair. And like, he's just trying to toughen
I gotta toughen this kid up. You did text me though. You said you wanted to make sure you mentioned your new bike on the pod.
Oh, that's my intro. That's my segue. Oh yeah, I see. Because you,
just like getting caught up. It's been a minute.
That's
like
true.
You said,
That's true. I have not been surfing because up here in the springtime, you can't touch the ocean. Like it's just so windy and so nasty every day. You have no interest in going there. And if you do foolishly get in the ocean, it's as cold as it gets all year. So it's just like, ugh, God, it's such a good time to do anything else. But I have been riding the bike a lot, and I'm excited to talk about the bike I'm really, really jazzed on, which is the Priority HXT. Did we talk about this at all?
We've
Have I
mentioned the
mentioned-
priorities.
I
'cause
know
we
we've
talked
talked about the
like,
first one I
belt
had.
drive
Yeah,
and stuff
okay.
like that. Yeah.
But like I had a priority.
But
not this
from,
bike.
But neither of us have ever ridden one before.
Okay, so I had that's not true. I had a priority belt drive bike, but it was a single speed that I had just as like a fuck around town bike.
Okay,
It was modeled on like an
Forgot
old
about
like a clunker. Like it was just like kind of a had like knobby tires, but single. It was a single speed, but belt drive, but which is cool. But like what the one I have now. It's just like one of those things where you go, okay, this is either definitely the future or like just a weird glimpse into a parallel like bike universe that may never go anywhere, but probably should. It's a hardtail, nice suspension fork, Fox 36, but belt drive. But what's amazing is it has a gearbox and and it has electronic.
This is the Doozer special, right?
Yeah, more. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he invented it, but like Pinion is its own company. And they're on other bike brands, but like Priority only uses Pinion, for the most part, Pinion drives or whatever. But anyway, this one has what's called Smart Shift, so it's electronic shifting. And why that matters is you can just straight up shift through all of the gears without pedaling. So you can be like, which you have to think about for a second to realize how cool that is. Like you can be like bombing down a hill in your highest gear, right? And then like see the like you're gonna hit the bottom and then climb really aggressively. And normally you have to like start being strategic. Okay, I'm gonna downshift and like start pedaling to catch up with it. This thing you can literally just go from 12 to 1, and then like then your next pedal stroke, boom, you're in first gear. Which is so fucking sweet. Like you can just be sitting there at just sitting on your bike, not pedaling anywhere. Just pedal through with all the gears and it doesn't matter. It's actually harder. It's worse for it if you're pedaling while you shift. Like that's when you'll get like a clunk. Otherwise it's perfectly smooth. It's effectively a manual transmission from a car, but there's no like clutch. So it has it's all of it. That's internal. There's nothing you can do to like, you can't hurt it. Like you change the oil in it, whatever the like gear oil is once a year or like once every like, I forget, they have 1,000 kilometers.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask how you service
That's
this
it.
thing.
That's literally it. There's no derailleur.
Well, shit's got to wear out, right? I mean, eventually something like it's going to break in there. No?
Probably not. I mean, it's just like it's just a series of gears with oil. Like unless something gets in there, like for the most part, unless I guess if you shift it like an asshole, you might be able to like screw it up. But like the belt will break at some point, but probably not not like while you have the bike. I mean, like But it's just so fucking awesome. Like it never gets dirt. Like you leave it outside, it doesn't rust. You don't have to lubricate it. Like and it's dead silent. So, you go over like the only downside, they put a really loud hub on it. I don't know why. It's one of the loudest hubs I've ever had. It would be cooler if they had like a much quieter hub because there's no chain rattle. There's no derailleur banging around. Like it's dead silent. So like you'll go off a curb or something. Like nothing. You don't hear a thing. You don't feel a thing. It's just fucking awesome. And it's like, now when I get on a bike that has a derailleur, it feels super archaic to me. Even the SRAM Axis transmission I have.
Is it heavy?
Yeah. That's the one downside.
I was going to say, there must be some downside.
Well, there's two downsides. Okay. One, it's a little bit heavy, but really, I don't even necessarily think you would think about it unless you were like a totally like a cross-country weirdo that like is obsessed with weight.
Right. Trying to win races or something. Right,
it weighs like 35 pounds, but all of that weight is in the middle of the bike. So it's not like there's no cassette, there's no derailleur in the back. So all the weight is centered, which makes it feel a little bit more like planted and like it's actually a much nicer experience. The back tire whips around really. They also have super short change stays, so the back tire like whips around a bunch. But yeah, it weighs like, I want to say 35, 36 pounds. It weighs a lot. The other downside is there's a little bit more drag than there is with a chain and like metal and a cassette.
Okay.
And I've talked to the guys.
Drag how? What do you
like? You
mean
can
drag?
feel it. Like as you're pedaling, it's like it takes like 1%, if maybe not even that much more effort to like. You don't necessarily notice it all the time, but there are times where you're like, I feel like I should be going a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And I talked to the Predator guys about it, and there is like a little tiny bit. It's very small, like more drag than there would be on a bike that has a chain. But the trade-off is that you can ride this bike through like all of Asia, and it's not going to like at no point are you gonna have to like service a drivetrain like at all. Like it doesn't matter what kind of mud or shit you ride through. It's better. It's just a better system. Like there's no reason to have chains. Like this is such a better system, and I really wish that Shimano or SRAM or anybody else that has deeper pockets than Pinion does would like figure out a way to make it lighter and whatever improvements they could make to the gearbox, because it is brilliant. Like it's just such a better way of having a bike. Like it feels so much better to ride. It feels so much better to like do anything other than if it's not for that drag. This bike also has really chunky, really sticky tires on it, and I have a feeling if I just went down to like 2.3s or something, it would be a lot. I may not even notice, but it is awesome.
The only problem I can detect in this is, did you let Priority know that you're not a gear reviewer anymore?
Well, here I am. You know,
that's right. You're on a podcast talking about, so it counts.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I don't know. People ask me about it all the time. Like, I get, I mean, this town's a very like bike friendly town, so people know what belt drives are. Oh, I've heard of those. What is that? What do you think? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So, you know, it's kind of...
All right, so I guess push comes to shove. Like, okay, all your bikes are taken away. You have to go buy a new mountain bike tomorrow. Is this what you're buying?
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
all right,
I am
then
going...
we got a little work to do still.
I am going to sell... I'm probably going to sell my regular full suspension bike at this point, my like normal trail bike, and just have this thing, my e-bike, my e-mountain bike, and then I might get I think I'll probably get a cross-country full suspension bike, like a Specialized Epic or something like that. Because the trails around here, you can get away with not having like a full-on trail bike. But I would think that like 90% of my rides would be on the Priority. I mean, it's really good. It's really, really good.
I'm all about the lower maintenance stuff, so I'm definitely interested in trying that out.
That's true.
Okay.
You hate camping and work. If there's two things you hate, it's camping and bike maintenance.
Yeah, I don't like either one. I prefer camping to bike.
Imagine like having to fix your bike while bike packing. God, you would die.
That'd be the worst.
You would fucking die.
I'm just send a helicopter and pick me up. All right, so let's get into our top story today, which is presented by your hub for ultralight gear, which is Garage Grown Gear. Head to garagegrowngear.com. Check them out. So this is by ABC Australia. There was an article I read this week. It's a scene straight out of the film Open Water. I believe it was called Open Water.
Yeah, it was. I never saw it.
Two brothers on a diving expedition off the coast of Perth were left stranded at sea when the boat they arrived in returned to shore without them. So they're 35 minutes into their dive. They were underwater, and the brothers heard the engine of the boat start. When they surfaced, one of the brothers said to the other one, "I think these fuckers are leaving us in the water."
That's
Very
so
Australian.
fucking awesome.
And then after nearly an hour, one of the pair was picked up by a passing ferry. I didn't really get it. It didn't say in the article why only one was picked up, but they picked up one.
The other one's dead.
Then the boat,
sorry.
Then the boat that had left them realized their mistake, and they were planning to return from them. And apparently, a member of that crew said, "Well, maybe the ferry could put the one they have back in the water, so we can pick up both of them."
Huh.
Anyway, the dive company acknowledged their mistake, asked that they not sue them. I guess number one, this is a comedy of errors. It's also
dive company. Please don't sue us for almost killing you in like a horrifying way.
I mean, we talk a lot, you and I, about what's the scariest thing in the outdoors. This might be the new scariest thing.
It would be pretty fucked. I mean, it's funny. It's just funny because I was riding the ferry home from work today, and I was just standing on the deck, and it's pretty like super choppy and like pretty windy. And I was the whole way. I'm like, okay, if I fell off here, what would happen? If I fell off here, what would happen? If I fell off here, just imagine.
Like, could you swim to shore?
Like, would I die?
Yeah.
Like, the water's about 52 in the bay, pretty windy, and there were like, and the currents in San Francisco Bay are notoriously like super gnarly, and I have no idea what the tide's doing right now. So like I wouldn't know necessarily which direction to swim, but yeah, and I was thinking, I'm like, well, there's other ferries. Would they see me? Like, would I get rescued by a ferry? Would they see me? Probably. Would it make more sense to swim toward that island that's half mile away? I don't know if I can swim that far right now, or does it make more sense to just like doggy paddle in the middle of the ferry channel and like hope to Christ one of them sees me? Like I have no idea, but for some reason I wasn't like worried about it. I just was thinking about it the whole way home.
That was the one thing. I'm like, when they picked up the one guy, I'm like, it's amazing that a ferry saw the two guys in the middle of the ocean. I mean, that's the thing about if you get lost at sea, it's like good luck. There's like they could fly right over you and not see you.
I'm curious how far away they were. Like, could they not have swam back? Maybe that's why one of them. Maybe that's why they only captured one. I mean, if they're wearing scuba gear or snorkeling gear, they had fins.
Yeah,
like you could make it pretty goddamn far. Although Western Australia would not want to be in the water for very long. Holy smokes, that's sharky over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty horrific. Although, did you watch Magnum PI? Were you a Magnum fan?
I'm not like obsessively, but I have seen the show.
One of the like more famous episodes. It's one of those ones where clearly the writers were like, I don't fucking know. Like, I'm out of. Are you out of? I'm out of ideas. So the episode was like, I forget what he fell out of, a boat, presumably. He's just like fell out of a boat off the, Magna PI takes place. He lives in Hawaii, falls off a boat, and he just was like treading water for the entire episode. And he's like reliving old memories, and he's like somehow he's like aware that like he knew the world record for like treading water, and he like was like, well, I guess I'll have to break that. It's just like the whole episode is him just treading water, and they're like,
was it a clip show? Like, were they showing scenes from like other
old episodes and shit? And you're just like, come on.
Yeah, right.
Even as a kid, I'm like, are you serious? This is lazy.
Right.
And eventually he gets picked up by I don't remember who, but I think about this all the time as well. Like, I wonder how long? Like, could I tread water for 3 days? Like I don't know.
So in the bear, what are the other things we always
bear,
talk about?
Probably shark. I mean sharks.
Sharks. I guess this is kind of in the shark camp, but I mean, you're not thinking about sharks. If you think about sharks, you're usually thinking like, oh, I'm surfing or whatever. This is like, I'm in the middle of the ocean.
That would be pretty horrific. That would be pretty damn horrific. We've talked before about just being on a tiny boat in the middle of the ocean during like a huge storm. Yeah. That's pretty scary. Now this would be bad. I mean, at least the water's warm there, but still, this would be real bad.
At what point do you just sort of like just go underwater and try and stay under there until it's over?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Like I guess it would depend on what I had going on in life at the point. There's definitely been times where I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, for sure.
You're like, oh, this is what's happening now?
I mean, all right, fine. Like,
fuck you, universe.
I assume you can just take a big gulp of water and you're just like if you just started breathing in, that's probably the fastest way. I don't know. It's a good.
I do. My favorite thing is the people like, hey, don't sue us, please. Like, buddy, I think I'm going to be calling a lawyer.
Love that. Love the request on that. Please don't. Like, could you just not?
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen? Do you not do a count? Were there 300 people on this boat? Like, what's going on here?
I know. It's like that's a premise in that movie Open Water, right? They're like, oh, you really would leave somebody behind?
Is that
like,
the premise of that movie?
Yeah. I think so. That's one with the two divers, and then like the sharks are circling around. I think that actually happened to somebody else.
Yeah, maybe. I've only ever done anything like this once. My wife and I went to Panama for our honeymoon on the Caribbean side. We went like snorkeling, and it was like some. It's funny. I don't think I would do this now, but at the time, you're like some guy with a boat, like a handwritten sign or whatever. Maybe there was the internet. I don't remember. I guess the internet existed. We probably looked it up online, but it's just like Ted's snorkeling. It's like, I don't fucking know who this guy is. Just like, here's my catamaran, and you just get on and just sail, and you're like, well, I'm assuming this is fine, and like, but like, it wouldn't have occurred to me.
Should we sign a waiver? Nah, no waiver. You're good.
I wouldn't have occurred to me to be like, oh, I hope he doesn't leave us while we're down here. Like, that's not something I would have even thought to be scared of, but now I will be if I ever do this again. I feel like in Greece snorkeling, you'd be like one eye on the boat the whole time.
Yeah. Ted, you're going to bring us back, right?
The other thing that hadn't really thought about, maybe these guys were assholes, like huge assholes, and the boat was just like, see ya.
That's funny. I love that. Like, you know what? Fuck these guys.
I could easily imagine a couple Australians like pissing me off that bad, like real fast.
We told them they had 30 minutes. It's been 35 minutes. We're out.
They knew the rules.
Yep. Well, hey, Justin, now more than ever, small and independent brands, they need your support. Unlike big corporations, small brands don't always have the resources to quickly shift manufacturing, absorb surprise costs, or have the cash to pay wild tariffs. Garage Grown Gear is a place where you can find it.
I'm sorry. I was told China was paying the tariffs.
Oh yeah, that's what's going to happen, right? That was told.
I was told.
Garage Grown Gear is a place where you can find innovative ultralight backpacking gear from 200 plus small and ultralight brands, all in one place. If you need gear of the season, consider supporting small brands first before going to the big guys.
First is
for
in
what
all
you
caps,
need.
as you just everyone as you're in the read here. First is in all caps. I don't think you really hit the all caps on that.
Here, hold on. Consider supporting small brands first. Before going to the big guys for what you need. You'll be supporting those who need it more, and you get some pretty cool gear while you're at it. Check out GGG via the link in the show notes, or just head to garagegrowinggear.com.
And hey, don't just listen to this and or like scan 30 seconds forward like I do when I'm hearing the ads in my favorite podcast. They have some really fucking cool brands like Garage Grown Gear. If you haven't listened to our episode where we talk about Lloyd Vogel, the founder of Garage Grown Gear's like 5, or was it 5? I think it was 5.
He did five USA
favorite
made,
USA made brands, all of which they sell there. each one was so much cooler than anything I thought they would like sell. Like just like really cool shit. So check for sure. Even if you don't, you're not like an ultralight backpacker. I'm not an ultralight backpacker, which is why I haven't been like doing deep dives on their site. But there's some really cool stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna. We can't wait to have Lloyd back on because that was such a fun episode. And I was like, the best part was there was only one of the brands you would have been heard of, and like that's. And
I wouldn't have if they were from San Francisco because they made shit I would never in a million years use.
Right, that's a good.
I don't even remember what they made.
Local, that's why.
Like weirdly specific climbing loops or something. Like it was very specific.
Today's episode of The Rock Fight is presented by Oboes, who wants to share their love of hiking, and we want to help them by uncovering all the different reasons we love to take the long walk. And right now, we're going to count 5 of the ways that we love hiking. Number 1, you can go solo or bring a crew. Both come with their own drama, so tread lightly. Number 2, no 2 trails are exactly the same, but your legs won't care by mile 6. Number 3, you get to earn your hot chocolate, your beer, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Guilt-free carbs, baby. Number 4, hey, hiking builds confidence, especially after you dominate that quote-unquote moderate trail that tried to kill you. And number 5, for every hike completed over a mile long during the month of April, Oboes will plant a tree as part of its Trails for Trees challenge. For each hike completed, participants will also receive chances to win weekly prizes from Oboes and challenge partners. Registration is free and still open right now at trailsfortrees.com. This hiking appreciation moment is brought to you by Oboes of Bozeman, Montana, maker of the Katabatic collection that includes the Katabatic LT and the Katabatic Wind. Check out the full Katabatic footwear collection at obosfootwear.com today. Oboes, love hiking. Next up, according to the Inertia, American Wave Machines, Justin,
by the way, I'm already sick to my stomach. Just that's half of that sentence.
Is bringing a wave pool to the desert. Zion Shores will be a, quote, luxury surf community based in southern Utah with a, quote, 164-foot wide dynamic wave surf pool and a 60-foot wide standing wave that will be built just outside St. George. Some local residents have expressed questions about what will be the nation's largest wave pool, with one calling the move tone deaf.
Just one person?
Wow, they quoted in the article anyway. I'm just going to step aside and let Justin tell you why this is a terrible idea.
Oh, boy. Well,
your eyes closed as soon as I started reading it. I knew this was going to be a good one.
I heard about this pool. I didn't know it was called Zion Shores.
It's so bad.
Is it going to be, is that just like a really shallow tip of the cap to Mormonism?
Maybe. I mean, you're by Zion National Park in St. George.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that's where Zion is. Still, surfers are, they're just so fucking stupid. Like you can't just like call it that. You can't just call it Zion Shore. Like it doesn't make any sense. It actually it's an affront to the national park as far as I'm concerned. It's not the beach of Zion.
Yeah.
I mean when I first saw it just now, I was like, oh my God, this is like some dumb Mormon thing. Then I realized, okay, Zion National Park. All right. Zion Shores is like, no, sorry. Do not bring that. Do not associate that wonderful national park with your bullshit American Wave Machines. Don't. This is awful. Everything about it's awful. Utah is having issues with water. It's going to get worse. Where is this going to come from? Sure. Yeah. I mean, but like, I'm tired of being angry at that. I still don't know who wants the wave pools. I still don't know.
It's
People do. People do. Don't get me wrong. People do. They're like, I wouldn't be building this if they didn't make money. I get. I'm not saying I don't know anybody who does because most of my friends seem to enjoy them that have gone to them. The concept still to me is fucking hideous.
Well, I think we're still in the novelty phase of this, right? Because like so the other day I was driving down the highway and I went by one of those like indoor skydiving places. You ever do one of those where it's like a big wind tunnel?
No, I haven't, but I kind of am interested.
And so, right, because it sounds kind of, that's cool, right? Yeah. We did one as like a team building when I was at Timberland.
I'd rather do that than actual skydive.
Well, that is right. So, but I always wonder how these places stay in business because it's
corporate
not
events.
Cheap, pretty much, right? And is that ultimately what this is going to be? If the wave pool movement proliferates and it becomes pickleball, which by the way, I had a PR company pitch me on pickleball stuff this week, which was hilarious, and I meant to forward it to you. But anyway, like if that's where wave pools are going. I mean, because I get it. Like, if you put a wave pool like where we live and say, hey, surfers want to go and like train on day, whatever. And like, there's a reason for it.
Makes a lot more sense than St. George, fucking Utah.
That's what I mean. Who is going to turn up? Because now you'll go to Kelly Slater's thing because it's like in the desert because like, well, that's where the one is. And if you want to do it, you go there. If they're all over the place, it's just going to be a water park.
I don't understand. That's the thing I have not really understood with the wave pools that are nowhere near the ocean. Like I just don't like Waco. But I know people that go there. That's the fucking thing I don't get.
But I think it's still the novelty. That's why. I think like surfers will go right now to check that out, right?
I guess. I mean, like it's a surf trip. You know, like you're with your friends. You're doing nothing but surf. You can surf all day. Like it's a surf trip. I get that. But
I think it makes more sense for that than it does for people who don't surf. I mean, it's like, okay, so let's say you live in the middle of the country.
It totally does. But like, I'm not going to fly to fucking Utah to do it. Like, that's the thing I don't get.
That's what I mean.
Especially if you live within, like, well, I don't know. I could fly to Salt Lake City about the same time I could fly to Palm Desert, I guess, where the best one in California is. But I don't know.
But it kills the surfing experience. Like, so even if you're living in Utah and it's like, oh, we could go try surfing at this wave pool, and I'm sure they'll have beginner waves and they'll teach you how to do it or whatever. It's like, yeah, but you can fly to like Huntington Beach and have the same experience. You know, it's just like, and do it in the ocean in a place where surf culture matters. And it's kind of like, it's a much more immersive thing about understanding what the sport is actually about versus just going to a chlorine-filled pool.
I agree.
And
I mean,
standing up.
And the waves are, I mean, some of these, I guess I only ever see the good sections of the waves, but I mean, like none of the wave pools that you want to surf are remotely suitable for beginners. Like, at all.
Yeah, that's true. They're usually overhead.
Or not even that. They're just like really fast breaking, or they're hollow.
Yeah,
like they're built for someone who knows how to surf. And so it's like, like you're not going to learn on a place like that. Although I'm sure they have beginner level or whatever. But I agree. I mean, I've been baffled by this thing for 15 years. Like I've never understood it. It's never made any sense to me at all.
I bet it's one of those things like we talk about if we play golf or even pickleball, where it's like if we went, I'm sure like we'd have fun.
I would have fun. No question would I have fun.
But and also, the tone deaf thing is true. Like, I mean, come on, man. In the middle of the desert, you have a giant pool like that for this purpose.
But like I mean, in some ways, like St. George is, it's like a mountain bike mecca. I don't know if you can ski there. I have no idea.
Brian Head's not that far away.
So I guess, we're going to be an outdoor sports mecca. Might as well have surfing in there. I just like, I mean, I don't know I truthfully don't know how anybody involved in anything like that can be like, okay, it's 2025. We're fucked for so many reasons. But you know what? I'm going to put all that aside and just like waste an absolute shit ton of resources on something that matters not even a tiny bit. Logically makes very little sense. Just for the purpose of what again? Like just give that money to Zion. Like, what do you do? Like, just fucking. How do you sleep at night? I don't know how you would sleep at night. Like,
I can't imagine the cost is cheap.
No, dude,
it must be like right. I mean, to run that thing, I'm sure a ticket to go do it. If you're going to do that in that part of the country, just build a regular water park.
Yeah, but please don't.
Like, slides.
Like, we don't need that. Let's stop. Like, we need to be like more thoughtful about the shit that we're building. You're already in a fucking spectacular place. Go on a goddamn bike ride.
Yeah.
Or just do a bunch of like drugs and trip out, pretend you're surfing. Like you
can't do that with your kids though. They'll put you in jail.
She's such a Puritan. Oh, they'll put you in jail. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Like my kids are high right now. What are you talking about?
God, I'm never going to Utah again.
That was good. That was some good old fashioned Housman vitriol right there, baby.
I'm never going to Utah again. Hit me up. Write us about it. I don't care.
Believe in the sock to make you happy. We believe in the sock, whole foot comfort. We believe in the sock that don't have to bunch, blister, or fall. We believe in free range toes and having room to roam and fine gauge merino wool as comfortable as home. We believe in made in USA, and we believe in doing what we say. Where fits, we fit. That's right. That's right.
That was Fitz Socks coming in hot, or at least thermo-regulated. They're bringing a fresh new sock sound to 2025. If you don't know Fitz, you should. They're the even smarter merino performance brand with patented technology that does what it says it does. It fits. And now, back to the show.
It's time for a party shop.
I actually changed my my parting shot. Oh, it's time for the parting shot.
While we were doing this?
Yeah. I remember I wrote a thing for my parting shot about the New Yorker article for Outside, which I can kind of summarize
I haven't read
in a
that
second.
yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
do you remember
juicy.
Do you remember who wrote it? Would you know?
Rachel.
Oh, not who I thought.
I can't remember her last name.
Okay, cool.
I do. Yeah.
It was good. Wait, when did it come out? I mean, we get the New Yorker. It's weird. My wife, she fucking squirrels them away.
But yes, well, my summary on that was just like, just lock it in. They're never going to achieve what they're going to. The one thing that became clear in that is it's the mission of we're using this platform to get people to go outside, but the people who don't know about going outside wouldn't use your platform, and the people who want your platform, you're making it worse content. They don't want what you're making anymore. So it's just like it's just not going to work. So that was my kind of summary there. But I wrote about that in the newsletter. I wrote about the summit in the newsletter. The one thing I did want to talk about, and I'm rolling off the cuff here, which is not usually what I do with my parting shot. I know. ESPN had an article about a missing climber whose body got found down in I think it was in Peru.
Body
and,
like they died, obviously.
Yeah, so it was 22 years ago. This climber died, and another climber was actually had to turn back on their summit bit. I forget the name of the mountain they were on, and they found this body. And then they discovered that this person had died 22 years ago on an avalanche on this mountain, and reached out to their family. Yeah. And by doing so, like they got to bring the body back, and they got to kind of provide closure to all these people. But it was like something you would have read in outside like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was on ESPN.com.
Huh.
And I'm like, that's awesome. Like, I love seeing that on ESPN, number one. I'm like, yeah, man, ESPN, like, expand your reach a little bit, but also showed, like, and I know it's something you could definitely read in an AJ or a Mountain Gazette and all that kind of stuff, too. But, those magazines don't publish that often and don't really dig in to get into the digital content.
Right.
So I thought it was really cool.
Also, neither of them are sending people down to Peru to, like, cover the story.
Right. And so this was, I thought, a really good. I'll send you the link. I'll put the link in the show notes. Really well done, ESPN. So parting shot, I guess, for me is to the rest of outdoor media about like, don't forget about this stuff and put it on. Put some things online because I do like my daily dose of adventures every once in a while.
It is really sad that something like that has to be on ESPN. But I mean, actually, no, it's not sad anymore that it's not on Outside because the Outside's been dead for a long time.
Right.
But ESPN's kind of always flirted with good journalism. Like they've like ESPN the magazine was so good. I loved
ESPN the magazine.
I missed that. And like they had they've like occasionally covered action sports and they did a pretty good job with it. And like ESPN's always kind of ruled. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I mean there's a lot of like you got to be a sports head, like to like really appreciate a lot of their content.
Yeah, and like the TV, like the First Takes, the Stephen A. Smiths and all that have kind of taken over.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I don't watch that
stuff. Pat McAfee's and all
those.
Yeah,
all right. I don't watch that kind of stuff.
The website is still
the storytelling is really good.
I agree.
The storytelling is really good, and the coverage of actual they're dropping baseball. Did you know that?
What do you mean? Oh yeah, from the you can no more games.
ESPN's not going to cover baseball anymore. Which I don't.
Well, they're not going to air the games. They're still going to cover the sport.
Well, they're going to cover it, but they're not, like I don't know what that means. Like this is not going to be. Is baseball tonight not going to be a thing anymore? Like baseball tonight has been like with me since I was a baby. Like God.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not going to show games anymore. But anyway, yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that. At least because ESPN's a pretty good journalism outlet or media outlet.
What do you got?
Well, mine is also very erudite and concerned with letters and things of that nature. When you drive your car, your Ford Maverick that you own, do you often drive with the passenger window and the driver's side window down? Would you say?
Yeah.
If you're by yourself,
I will put. Yes,
you're going to drop them both.
I drop all four. I put them all down and the little rear view. Yeah.
All right.
You never put down. You don't only put down your side.
Yeah, it would never really occur to me. But then let me ask you this: would you also then blare music?
No. Well, I mean, I would, but if they pull up to a stoplight, I would have turned it down. Yeah.
So I guess I need to rethink my anger a little bit because my thinking.
No, don't base it off. I mean, maybe I'm the source of your your strife.
Well, you'll see why. Because like this has happened a couple times to me in the last week, where I'll be coming home from work or from the ferry parking lot to my house. And there's somebody, always a single person, usually really young, but not always, like like passenger side window down, driver side window down. They're by themselves, just fucking blaring music, and it's like, you just want everyone to hear it? Like, is that that's what I assume. Is that the whole point? Is like, I want you to hear this horrible song right now. Like that, like everybody needs to hear how good this song is, even though it sucks ass. That's what I assume is happening. Yeah. But now you're saying that you just kind of knock them all down. Don't really think about it.
Don't you listen to? You don't blare music in your car?
Yeah, but I have the driver's side down. So unless you're unless you're in the passenger seat next to me, you have no idea what the hell's going on. I'm not making you listen to me. So I'm sitting here. I got my window down. I got my arm out the window. I might be listening to a podcast. I might be listening to better music. But like, I'm done. I'm done. I can't because you're next to me and you got your passenger window down and you're blaring the most heinous garbage. And now I'm listening to it too. And now I got to roll my window up. Thanks.
This has definitely been a problem for a while. I mean, this goes back even in the 80s and 90s with the big, the big subwoofers in the back of the cars and all that. And it's just like, when you get to the stoplight.
But that's rare around here.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you get to the stoplight, it's time to turn it down.
It's time to turn it down. Roll the passenger window up.
Yeah, or that's fine.
Or like we're all driving 35 on the same road. I'm going to be next to you the whole time, and I'm just like,
it's like, dude, come on, man.
I love one of my favorite things in the world to do is to be like next to someone like that, and I just look over at their car, slowly shake my head in disapproval while I'm rolling my window up. God, I love doing that so much.
It's worth them doing it just so you can do that.
Just look, you look over, you see this like absolutely obnoxious white guy just looking at you with just total disdain, shaking his head as his window goes.
That's amazing.
There's probably so many people that hate me so much around here. There's that fucking guy in the Frontier again.
Yeah,
anyway,
I mean that is
roll your goddamn window up if you're playing loud music. I don't want to hear it. I mean, unless I do, but that's rare. It's very rare. No one ever like rolls up just blaring Yolo Tango with all the windows down. That's never once happened to me.
I can't think of a time when I've rolled up to somebody who's blaring music and I've looked over like, I'm pumped about what they're listening to. Never happens.
Nope. Roll them up. Keep them tight. Keep them tight, folks. Roll them up. Keep them tight.
All right, guys, that's the show for today. We want your emails. We want to hear, what did we get feedback on? Oh, the priority.
I want to get feedback on your. Are you a kite person? Do you like?
What you mean, like kite surfing, or
do
just
you like to fly kites
in
a nice day?
I was at Sprouts and they had this little pocket kite, and I'm and then yesterday on Sunday we're going to the beach. Completely forgot. I was so mad, and it was nice and breezy. It would have been a great kite day,
my next door neighbors have a free pile the other day. They had a really nice big kite they clearly bought for their kids but never used it. I'm like, that's mine now. See, I was drawing kites while we're talking.
You can tie a little chick to your kite and fly it around.
A little baby chick, like a little chicken. This is what there you go.
I can't wait for you to eat those things.
You don't eat the egg layers, bro.
You will eventually when you get hungry enough. All right, so
oh God.
Send your emails to myrockfight@gmail.com. Rockfight's a production of Rockfight LLC. For Justin Housman, I'm Colin True. Thanks for listening, and we'll never get Krista Makes get rid of Krista Makes no matter what Justin says and how good our band gets. We'll see you next time, Rock Fighters.
Bye.